Why, you say, nobody wants to go to hell. Yes, they do. Or they wouldn't go. They gravitate to hell. Like a sinner gravitates to prison and gravitates to the dregs of human society. It's a downward, gravitating, degrading, slumping in man. Think of it. There stood a prisoner brought to the bar of justice. Somebody that claimed to be God and said that he made all things and loved everybody. And the judge on the bench said, well, you know, it's a day when I can give you somebody. How about giving you him? They said, we take Barabbas. Do you know you can judge a church by the kind of preacher it chooses? A deeply spiritual, well-taught body of saints of God can't tolerate a modernist in the pulpit. A church that lets a modernist in his pulpit as pastor is a church that's deteriorated and is sunk to a level where a gospel preacher wouldn't suit. All of this mixed multitude of the day is an indication of the condition on which we live. When I was a boy, you answered every question in the realm of a religion with a verse of Scripture. Any matter came up, we said, what does the Bible say about that? We've been recently under attack. We are not attacking, we are under attack. The position of Bob Jones University, which it has held since it was founded over 30 years ago. An institution that was founded for a definite purpose. To keep a line of demarcation between orthodoxy and modernism. Is under attack today as never before. Under attack. What a world. I've had some time to do some thinking around on this trip. And I've come to the conclusion today that the tendency of man to exalt man rather than to exalt God makes it perfectly clear how the world's going to accept the Antichrist when he comes. Jesus said, I come in my Father's name, and you won't accept me. But some of these days, somebody's come in his own name, and you're going to accept him. The world is going to accept a man sometime in the place of God and deify that man. That's the Antichrist. This Antichrist will deny the Father and the Son, and he'll sit on a throne and have miraculous satanic power. And he'll be the man's choice instead of God. All you've got to do is to read the Bible. Listen, you can believe the worst about the world by simply stopping to say there's never been but one sinless person that ever lived on this earth. And the world spat in his face. Had the crown of thorns on his brow. Beat him into a pulp. What is done to Jesus would have killed anybody except Jesus. You couldn't kill him. What was done to him would have killed anybody before he ever got to the cross. He said, you can't take my life away from me. I lay my life down, I take it again. You can't take it. And he went up that hilltop and laid his life down. But the blood of the Son of God is on the hands of man. And somebody's coming sometime, the Antichrist. He may be alive today. They're going to accept him. He'll come as a nice fella. He'll be an angel of light. He'll talk sweet and humble and lovely and beautiful. Nice. He's given us a world religion, and that's where we're headed now. A world religion. Everybody together have a big religion. And let's us fix it up like it ought to be fixed. like we want it fixed. We'll trim God down to suit us. Why can't we have enough sense to know man's been doing that all the time? What kind of gods do they have in heathen lands? They make their own gods. Man's pulling down, trying to pull God down. Down! Come off of your throne and be one of us. We are gods too. One thing about these people here in this 27th chapter of Matthew, they did choose a fellow that didn't claim to be anything but a sinner. The Antichrist is going to claim to be God, but he'll be a sort of God soothsayer. He'll be anti-God, but he'll be a human God. So they made the choice. Well, you say that was 2,000 years ago. Now, wait a minute. Let's come up to date. Who was represented here? There were three classes of people represented in this group. First, the democracy was there. Democracy. Throngs of people, class of people, politicians and religious leaders, common folks and all the rest of them mingled together. A democracy it was. And democracy, what do you do with Jesus, which is called Christ? Crucify him! Democracy. There isn't a nation that ever lived, for nation was represented here. Government was talking here. This was government speaking. Democracy and government. There isn't a government that ever lived that ever accepted Jesus Christ. He came under his own, and they wouldn't receive him. But as many as received him, he gave them the right or the authority. The individual who would take it. Government. United States of America has never accepted Jesus Christ. This is the best country in the world. They'll persecute you if you accept the Christ of the Bible. You'll get lied about and persecuted, but they can't put you in jail for it in America. Have religious liberty. Any citizen that wishes to can accept Jesus Christ and not be put in jail for it. And the Christ of the Bible. Or you can trim him down to your level if you want to. And say he was not born of a virgin. He's just like anybody else. He was a mystical sort of person. The United States government won't put you in jail for saying that against Jesus. Now, I'm not reflecting on the government. I'm just stating the fact as it is. This isn't a Christian country. Oh, it's a wonderful thing we live in a country where we can be Christians. And Christian influences have affected us, all this nation, has affected government and society and politics and everything else in business. Everything's been affected by Christianity. But there is no Christian government on earth. America lets you be Christian, a Unitarian, Trinitarian, Christian Scientist, Roman Catholic, Protestant, atheist, agnostic, infidel, skeptic. Government said, what should we do with Jesus? What you going to do with him? And they said, crucify him! We'll take his blood. Democracy, government, and religion was talking. Religion? What do you do with him? Well, if you let us fix him like we want him, we'll take him. We want Christian recognition. We don't believe in the virgin birth. We don't believe in the authority of the Bible, except what we want to believe. I have in my pocket a statement right now, a quotation from a letter I read recently, where a certain man wrote a friend of mine in this audience. And this man said in his letter that there are Christian people that accept Christ, but do not accept the authority of all the authority of the Bible. They take what they want. They are testing today the Bible by how they feel, not how they feel by the Bible. You're not to test the Bible by your experience. You're to